Let's talk about converting between degrees and degrees, minutes, seconds when we're working with angles. Let's go ahead and start with some information we're going to need to know when we're working with these problems. One revolution, or one full circle, is going to be a total of 360 degrees. Now, we can take that 360 degrees and start breaking down those degree measures into smaller and smaller pieces. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, and you're going to see the minutes denoted by one little tick mark or one apostrophe after the 60. And we can take 1 minute and break that down into smaller units. 1 minute would be equal to a total of 60 seconds. You're going to see the double quote mark there to represent seconds. Now let's go back to 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. Well, what if I don't need necessarily the 1 degree part? What if I need to know how many degrees are in 1 minute? I could go ahead and divide both sides by 60 here, and that's going to give me 1 minute on that right hand side, and that's going to be equivalent to 1/60th of a degree. And I can do the same thing if I was working with minutes and seconds. I know 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Well, what if I wanted to know how much was in just 1 second? I could go ahead and divide both sides by 60 in that case as well. So 1 second is equal to 1/60th of a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple examples using degrees and degrees, minutes, seconds. Let's go ahead and convert 50 degrees, 6 minutes, 21 seconds to a decimal that's in degrees. And let's go ahead and take this one out to 4 decimal places. Now notice in your problem you have 50 degrees and a little bit extra, so I'm expecting my answer to come out to be about 50 point something once we're done. I'm going to go ahead and copy down my 50 degrees. That one's obviously already in degrees. I don't need to do anything with it. The 6 minutes, we're going to have to convert to degrees. Now recall that 1 minute was a 60th of a degree, and I have 6 of them total. So I'm going to be multiplying my 6 by 1/60. And when I do that, that's going to give me 1/10, or 0.1 degrees. And now we want to go ahead and do the same thing with our 21 seconds. Keep in mind we have to make 2 conversions on this one. We have to go from seconds to minutes, and then from minutes to degrees. So we're going to take that 21 and multiply it by 1/60 2 times. Right? The first one's going to allow us to change it to minutes, and then the second one's going to allow us to change it to degrees. And when I multiply this out, I'm going to get 0.0058. And now we can go ahead and add each of these pieces together for our final answer. And this is going to give us 50.1058 degrees. In this example, let's talk about converting the other direction. So let's go ahead and take 21.256 degrees and convert that to degrees, minutes, seconds. You might see this notation DMS as the notation for degrees, minutes, seconds. Keep in mind in this example I have 21 degrees and a little bit extra, so I'm going to go ahead and split this one at the decimal point. So I want to know how many minutes I have, so I'm going to use that decimal component, 0.256, and I'm going to multiply it by 60 to figure out how many minutes that would be. When I do that, I'm going to end up with 15.36 minutes. Now that tells me I have 15 full minutes and 0.36, a little bit extra, which is the piece I'm going to use to figure out how many seconds I have. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to split this one at the decimal point. and I can go ahead and multiply 0.36 times the 60, and that's going to tell me how many seconds I have. This is going to give me 21.6 seconds, and let's go ahead and round this one to the nearest second. So let's get our final answer. We're going to end up with 21 degrees, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds.